Shalom everybody, it's Kalila Kelly or Irish Jew, and I'm looking at a story today about Gal Gadot, that gorgeous Israeli actress. Look at her. Look at her. Can you see? Can you see? Oh my god, she's stunning. Anyway, Gal Gadot is a proud Israeli Jew. She has been in the IDF. She has fought. She has been in the IDF. I don't know if she's fought, but she's certainly shown up, done the work, done the push-ups. And she's also an actress. And apparently she was in London trying to do some filming for her new movie, The Runner, and some maniacs were targeting the set, protesting, because, well, she's a Jew and an Israeli. And the police said that basically 5 people were arrested on suspicion of harassment and offences under Section 241 of the Trade Union Labour Relations Act, which means wrongfully and lawfully obstructing access to a workplace. So there you have it. There you have it. There you have it. So Gal is trying to do her work, trying to work on a film set, and some maniacs are protesting and not letting her go and do that. What I find really interesting about this story is the fact that these protesters, the Palestinian-led boycott, divestment and sanctions movement, who have been calling for a boycott of everything Israel, what I find so interesting about this is that they are conflating Jews and Israelis, not just with Gal Gadot, but with Jews just anywhere across the West at the moment, have been conflated with Israelis, like those 2 beautiful people who were shot to death in the US recently at a Jewish museum in DC. And they were shot to death because they were Jewish. Actually, the man who was killed was actually a Christian, and his fiancée, or soon-to-be fiancée, was actually Jewish, but they were conflated with Israel and Israel's political actions and Israel's military actions. And I find that really interesting because I remember very clearly after the World Trade Center was bombed in an Islamic terrorist attack, very, very clearly the left and people who were kind-hearted were very quick to jump to the defense of all Muslims across the entire globe and to say, hey, don't conflate all Muslims with a bunch of psychopathic Al-Qaeda terrorists. And yet that same call for clarity, that same kindness, that same deep-seated compassion is nowhere to be found when it comes to Israel and Jews. People have been pretending that they don't conflate the two. And the mask has come off recently. It's come off, and we know that essentially by saying you're anti-Israel, you are more likely than not also saying you're actually anti-Jewish. You're just not allowed to say that part out loud. It's easier to say you're anti-Israel because Israel is not perfect and it fucks up. Excuse my French. But I haven't heard any of that kind of benevolent language, that warm-hearted empathy from anyone on the left when it comes to Israel and Jews. Even across Europe now, when you have a terrorist attack or some maniac kills someone and he happens to be of a certain religion, very, 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 very quickly, oh no, it's not all Muslims, it's not all Islamic ideas, it's not everyone, it's just some random lone wolf, psychopath, nothing to see here people. I don't see that narrative being applied to Israelis and Jews. I don't see that distinction being applied. And so Jews here in Australia are being targeted and attacked. Maybe they've got nothing to do with Israel in the sense that they don't even support Israel's policies, or they don't even want to go to Israel, or they don't even care. They're a disaffected Jew. They're disconnected from Israel. They don't actually give a shit about it. They don't think about it. They're just living their life in Australia or in the UK or in Canada or in America. And yet they are being conflated with Israel. Again, this double, triple, quadruple standard when it comes to anything Jewish. It's mind-blowing to see. It's mind-blowing. So I'm glad that Gal got to keep doing her work. Pretty brave of her to do that in London. London, or should I say really Londonistan, let's be honest. I mean, don't even talk about the Speaker's Corner. You cannot be a Christian over there. You cannot be a woman over there. It's completely radicalized. It's completely Islamified in the sense of really gross Islamic theologians and philosophers hanging out over there and basically being thugs and bullies. I remember a year or so ago when there was a Christian preacher. She was there talking about the Quran, talking about the Bible, doing her thing, as you are allowed to do on Speaker's Corner. It's called Speaker's Corner, not Stabby Corner. And yet, some nutjob Muslims tried to stab her to death. And I think the police pulled her away from the scene as if she was the troublemaker. England, you really are so screwed. You are so screwed. Anyway, I'm glad that Gal Gadot got to continue doing her thing and doing her filming. And hopefully it'll be a good movie. Hopefully it'll be better than her appearance in Snow White, because by all accounts that was pretty bad. Okay, thanks, bye.